Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Crystal Coaching Show, a show where I give you information about crystals. And what you can see right here is an example of a crystal grid. And this crystal grid in particular, I call the Feng Shui style crystal grid. Only the 9 crystals here in the center, not the ones at the left side and at the right side of it. On the right side here I have a sunstone, and on the left side, to balance it, I have the moonstone. So back to the grid. This particular arrangement, I call it Feng Shui style crystal grid. And the reason for that is because each crystal in the grid represents one particular corner or aspect in Feng Shui. As you know, or you might know already, Feng Shui is based on directions. So we have north, south, east, and west, and also northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. And in this particular grid, we have north, south, east, and west, northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. Hi, Andrea. Thank you for tuning in. In tonight's show, I'm talking about crystal grids, as you can see right here. And this particular grid I call the Feng Shui style. So in this grid, in the middle, I have a clear quartz pyramid, which is also a generator that empowers the rest of the grid. What you can see here, the 4 directions, is copper. And underneath the clear quartz generator, I have placed my shamanic pie stone, which is a turquoise. And now let's see, at the north we have a ruby. It's a rough ruby, so you might have guessed it's not the nicer version that jewelry contains. At the south, I have a black tourmaline. At the right, for east, I have the angelite. At the west, I have the bloodstone. At the northeast, I have the clear quartz. Northwest, I have a citrine. Southeast, there is a kyanite, and southwest, lapis lazuli. These two crystals over here are not part of the grid. I keep those there for balance. In the right corner there is a sunstone, and in the left corner, you may have guessed it, is its opposite side, the moonstone. So feel free to ask any questions. There are many types of grids. This is only one of them. And for those of you who are interested in learning more about crystal grids, I will be launching soon my Crystal Masterclass, in which I talk in detail more about crystal grids and arrangements for different purposes, for different intentions. But the basics for crystal grids are: in the center of the grid, you always put the crystal that you program with the intention of the grid. And for that, it is recommended to use clear quartz when possible. But you may also use citrine, amethyst, and also selenite or celestite. And as I mentioned, Feng Shui, this is one part of the master class. But now that I have brought it up, I will give you some of the basics of the Feng Shui and what each of the directions represent. And let's start with the corners. So the left upper corner, as I have them in the grid, represents wealth and abundance. The top right corner represents relationships, love, and also the mother figure. The bottom left side represents knowledge and spirituality. The bottom right corner represents helpful people and travel, as well as the father figure. The top represents fame or success. The bottom represents career. The left represents family, new beginnings, and also past. And the right represents children and creativity, and also the future. So let me know in the chat if you have any questions so far. Thank you, Andrea. I don't know when I will finish it. I'm still putting it together, but I will announce the date of the launch. It will be around between 2 or 3 hours, I believe. It's a lot of content. So it will be what I like to call the advanced degree in crystals. As there I won't be talking much about their qualities. Rather, I will talk about the direct ways in which you can use the crystals related to many different aspects. What I do in this show, in the Crystal Coaching Show, is like the beginner stage. Yeah. Hi, Christina. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, I'm still working on it, but it will be extremely powerful information. And those of you who will sign up to the masterclass will also receive a copy, not of the physical book, but a PDF version of it. This is like an introductory to crystals, where you have the qualities of various crystals. And in the masterclass, I will go deeper with information of how to use the crystals. And one of them is, as I said, in Feng Shui style. The other type is crystal grids. And this particular grid I call Feng Shui style crystal grid. And what else? I will talk about colors and their relation with crystals, or vice versa, the crystals' relationship with colors. Also, the 12 chakra system and the relationship with crystals. Crystals and elements or elementals. And also more exercises with crystals that you can practice yourself in daily life for various purposes and benefits. So feel free to type into the chat if there are any questions, or if there is a particular crystal that you would like me to talk about right now. And what I started doing a while back is pulling out some cards from the crystal deck, the same as I do in my morning show, to see what crystals are recommended for the day. An interesting card popped out right now. It's the Amethyst. So let's see what the card says about the crystal and the card's interpretation. The Amethyst promotes humility and philanthropy. It brings light into problems and so helps us in the transformation from the mental to the spiritual level. It both soothes hardened souls and supports people with gentle nature. The interpretation of this particular card is transformation, beginning, and letting go, redemption, sudden change, illness, but also recognition of necessities, end of a situation, and a new beginning. And the shadow aspects of this particular card is loss, standstill, failure, fear of death, divorce, end of relationships, death, and panic. It can also be holding on to what is no longer useful. Very, very interesting and powerful card, and also powerful crystal. Amethyst is the main one that I recommend for everyone who is just starting using crystals, especially the ones that I call master amethysts. As they have the capacity to adjust to the individual's frequency and vibration, and then help the individual evolve and raise his or her vibration to the highest possible state that we are ready to achieve. Also, the amethyst is a highly spiritual crystal and opens ourselves up to the crystal realm, which allows communication with the crystal realm. And also it activates and balances the third eye chakra, which results in us becoming more intuitive and giving us the ability to see hidden things that are not seen with the physical eyes. Therefore, allowing us to perceive what is beyond the physical realm. So that is about Amethyst. Feel free to type into the chat any questions. Let's see what else can I talk about now. I feel inclined to talk about pendulums, crystal pendulums, and how to use them. So let's see if I can show it here. Yep, all right. So the way we can use crystal pendulums is asking questions that can be answered only with a yes or no answer. And we have to allow the crystal to stand still. And then, after it has settled down, we first ask a question that we already know the answer to see which direction is for yes and which direction is for no. It can move either from left to right, such as like this, up and down, or forward and backwards, or in circular motions, to the left, counterclockwise, or to the right, clockwise. Of course, usually it doesn't move as wide as you have seen, but it happens. So let's see. Let's allow the crystal to settle down. And then I will ask a question to see the yes movement. So the crystal has settled down, and I'm going to ask, is my name Robert Dosa? Let's see if it will indicate a direction or a movement. Sometimes it takes a while for the crystal to start moving. And as you can see, it has started to move forward and backwards. It is not a very wide movement, but you can always ask the crystals if you aren't sure which direction it has moved, to show you with a wider movement. After you have received the answer, you thank the crystal and allow it to settle back. As you can see, it has stopped. And now let's put another question, which I know that it is a no answer, to see if it will go the other direction. So let's see. Is my name Bill Gates? Let's allow the crystal to find the answer. And as you can see, it's pretty clear already that the answer is no. It is going left and right. Thank you. And after that, we let it settle down. And that is the way to use a crystal pendulum. If you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat. Sometimes you may find that the crystal won't move at all, which is either that you are not prepared to know the answer to that question, or you are not allowed to know the answer to that particular question at that particular moment. It has happened to me a few times. So if you don't have any questions, I guess that is all for tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And I will see you tomorrow morning at the morning show with the crystals messages and the numerology for the day. And in the evening, don't forget, I will have the Healer Unleashed show. So feel free to invite your friends or anyone who you know that suffers with any health condition to discuss and participate in a powerful healing session. So thank you once again for watching and have a blessed evening.